Welcome back, everyone. I got the DR650 here, my adventure bike, sitting on the stand. I got this top end rattle that's kind of going on. I think it's the rockers. Could be that. I got some over here. Got some plastic gauge, so I can actually go ahead and measure the cam clearance, the cam journals, make sure those are all right. Cam chain, I don't think it's that because I put a manual tensioner on it and it got a little bit better, but it's not like 100% better yet. It's getting kind of annoying riding back and forth to work. I know there's a lot of people that I've talked to on Facebook and a couple different groups. They say that Tappy's happy, it's a Suzuki, they're gonna rattle, it's really cheaply built, but I mean they last forever. But to me, there's something going on up there. So it's not going to take much to just take the tank off, take the seat off, measure the rocker arms, the bores in those, measure the shafts that they sit on, and measure the cam journals. Just for peace of mind, if that's not it, I mean, I'm not out any gaskets, I'm just out time. The other thing is, I have a flashlight here. I have a bit of an oil leak kinda here. I don't know if you can see it there, just underneath the exhaust. So that would be the head gasket. Doesn't look like it's leaking too much back here, but don't know if I'm gonna get into that. I will be almost there, so that's kind of just gonna be an audible. I might just fix that while I'm in there while I'm doing it. Depends on if I have to order the rockers or not. If I have to order the rockers, then I'll order the head gasket and just do it and get it done with. So I'm gonna go ahead and tear this down, and then I'll check back in. Alright, I got these covers off here. Your inspection covers. I got this cover off here to access the bolt to the crank so I can turn it over, find top dead center. This is your inspection port to make sure you're at top dead center. But honestly, there's a real easy way. I know a lot of people mess this up trying to find top dead center. If you just watch the valves, you'll know when you're on top dead center on the compression stroke, because there's a pause or like a delay as you're turning it. It seems like you turn it almost, I'd say 2/5 to a quarter of a turn, and it's like nothing happens with if you watch the rockers here. So that's usually pretty damn close to top dead center there. Then you can check in the inspection port to see if it's actually there or not. The reason I'm doing that too is whenever you do anything on the top end, you kind of want to make sure it's always at top dead center or close to it, because you want your rockers to be loose. You don't want any pressure on these at all when you go take that apart, so then your cam won't jump, your timing won't, you're just going to create a little bit more of an issue when you go to put things back together. If you put it at top dead center now, you can keep it there, it'll be a hell of a lot easier when you put it back together. So right now I'm going to see if I can cheat and get these rockers out of here by just pulling these plugs and pulling those pins out. So wish me luck. I'll measure those, and if those are bad, then obviously I know that there's part of my problem. I may dig deeper tonight, I may not. I'm just going to go ahead and pull those off. Well, that's not going to work, because if I loosen this bolt, and those two bolts, I'm not releasing the tension on these bolts correctly, and I could warp that top cover or that top case. So I already know I want to check I already know I kind of want to check the cam, so I guess cutting corners in this situation is not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the engine mounts and pull this off the right way. Alright, I got all these bolts out of the cam cover, so I'm going to pop this off and take it over to the bench, start doing some measuring. I bet you that's it right there. I've got a little bit of play in this spring washer here. There's a little, you can kind of hear it knocking. This one doesn't do it as much. This one doesn't do it at all. Intake. Exhaust. It's always good to have a piece of plastic. It's a piece of plexiglass I got off of a table or something a while ago. I like using it because you can use dry erase marker on it and label things. So that's a cool little tech tip. Alright, I got everything taken apart here. I have the shaft, minimum and maximum, the arm, the inner bore here on the arm, minimum, maximum, and went through, I inspected them a little bit, and I already kind of measured them. I think the shafts are a little wore out. The bores seem to be okay on the inside here, but I'll see what I can find. I think they're like 63 bucks a piece, OEM, if I can find them. Last time I looked on Rocky Mountain, they weren't available, or they're on back order. Same with the shafts. I can get reinforced rocker arms through Pro Cycle, but they're like 300 bucks. So I kind of want to hold out for the OEM. I think my theory is, since they're on back order, that they kind of go bad and they get replaced a lot. So if that's true, supply and demand, maybe. It also might just be they're just out of stock. So here's pretty much what I came up with. If you look at this shaft here, you can see it's shiny right here in the middle, and then it's shiny on the outside. So obviously it's wearing on the opposite, like when the cam is pushing on it, that's what's wearing. I can get my fingernail, there's a texture difference for sure, but I can actually feel a little bit of a lip there. If I measure them, see, that's zeroed out. 470 and a 0.5. And kind of rotate it here. Seems to be pretty consistent through there. And my minimum is 4714. So that's almost, let's see, $1,007. Yeah, so it's almost, let's see, thousandths off. Yeah. Total. I mean, 4718. So it should be like a solid 4715. Even though it goes in half increments here, it should be solid 1.5. It's not even. So that's the exhaust. Here's the intake. There's one that's still back at. See, that one's better, but I think it still should replace them as a pair. Now, for the arms, I took this small hole gauge, small bore gauge. You stick it down in here Tighten this down so it expands. You can see it expands here. The little shuttle gets pushed in there and expands. It's tight there, so I'll back it off just a whisker. So I can rotate it in there, and I feel a little bit of resistance. I can actually feel that there's a worn spot in there. So now we measure that. The way I measure these, I take it so you have, see how it spreads the two ears out this way? So this is going to be your widest spot. That's what your bore is, not this. So make sure it's zeroed. I put it in the gauge like that, or like this right here. And then I slowly rotate it past center. Catch it a couple times. I can still feel a little resistance in there. 473. 4724, 4731. So yeah, that's exactly where we need to be. That's a good one. 472.5, 473. Check that one more time. Check the exhaust. This is 473, right? Well, zeroed. Try it one more time. 472.5. A little tight, but it feels better. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to find shafts, replace those, and find new springs. This little guy, remember I saw that rattling in there earlier, or that little bit of play I didn't like? I could possibly bend this one, but I think it's actually spring steel. So if it's like 63 cents, I'll just buy 2 of those. Replace those, keep the rockers. I think the rockers are good. That's pretty cool. I like that. And I guess I'll just look for shafts. And then I think my cam journals look alright. I could still do that real quick before I put it together. And I still don't know about the head gasket here. That's going to be kind of a venture, but I'll dig into some parts and see what I can find. So it's about midnight. I think I'm going to go to bed. So hey, see you next time.